Yeah, hi. Hi, Nicole.
Hello,
Good to
Deborah.
have you here. It's really good to have you
Hello.
here. I have been running this event for quite some time now um, for the DLS community, DevOps Learning Space community. So I host events, I collaborate with DevOps engineers, cloud engineers, and host events for the community to because I believe in giving back to the tech community. I mean, it's the tech community that got me to where I am, the point where I am right now. So I believe in giving back to the community. So I doing this is my own way of giving back to the community as well as providing enough resources, not just YouTube tutorials, but from allowing DevOps engineers, cloud engineers, experienced cloud engineers to speak based on their experience. I think that's what people will really want to listen to, not just watch tutorials, but be able to learn from the experience of people that they are wishing to. I would say people they are wishing to be. I would say learn from the position where you are, for instance. People want to learn from your position and learn from your experience. So I'm really happy and glad to have you here on the call today. Is my head still a bit slanted because I don't know what's wrong with my hair.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, guys, I might be turning off my video soon because I don't understand why my face is slanted. I'm not comfortable. But anyways, let's get on with it. It's already 11. It's already 3 minutes past 11. So I think Nicole is a cloud engineer. But I think it's better if she does her introduction herself. So Nicole, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Deborah. It's really, really exciting to be here. Um, I am Adeyemi Nicole. I'm a cloud DevOps engineer. I've been in the tech space for about 4 years. I'm also a technical writer, volunteer as channel lead for devcareers. Um, So basically, that's just a little short bio about me. Even though I didn't have a tech background because I studied pharmacology back in school, I'm in the tech space. I'm doing well for myself. Yeah. So uh, we're talking about pillars of site reliability engineering. So I'll just go ahead and share my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, they should be able to. I just added it to the event. I
Right.
can. I
Okay.
can hear straight.
Okay, so we're talking about pillars of site reliability engineering. Okay, we're talking about what SRE is. We're talking about why SRE is needed uh, in the tech field space. We're talking and then finally talk about the pillars of SRE, and then we'll be taking questions if there are. So let's start without further ado. Okay, so SRE, site reliability engineering, is defined as the automation of IT infrastructure and operation using set principles to achieve a scalable and reliant system. When I talk about IT infrastructure, talking about servers, we're talking about computer, even further talk about websites, web page, and all of that. Okay, operation using set principles. So, what are the principles that help guide building of this website or making them reliable? So that's what basically SRE is about, and it was created by Google. The whole concept of SRE was created by Google to properly manage their rapidly scaling system. So, in shorter words, SRE is building a reliable system. Okay, so it brings us to the debate. Most people say, "Oh, I'm an SRE." Most people say, "Oh, I'm a DevOps engineer." What's actually the difference between SRE and DevOps? People that um, the role that do the role site reliability engineering, they're called SRE too. So they can be used interchangeably. So there is site reliability engineering, and then people that do site reliability engineering are called site reliability engineers. Okay. So I think a major difference between site reliability engineering and DevOps is that SRE is a specialized discipline within the broader field of DevOps, right? Uh, DevOps is like a parent, and site reliability engineering is like a child, right? It's just like being a doctor and then being a specialized doctor, probably like ENT and all of that. So while DevOps focuses on the collaboration between development and operation teams, right? So DevOps basically is like the collaboration of the development team and then operation team, and then they bring about the enhancement of communication and efficiency. Development team is made up of the back end, uh, the front end. Then there's also the QA testers and all of the product designers, the product manager. So what basically DevOps do is to like bring all of those units and make those silos and make them like a unit for communication and efficiency. A front end engineer can say, "Oh, all I just need to do is write React and just push it to the Git repo. That's my business." And the backend will say, "Oh, what I just need to do is to just write that code, write the REST APIs, and that's my business." If the um, web page is not coming up, that's not my business. That's the front end engineer, and then like so on like that. What DevOps do is to just bring like a collaboration so that everybody's on the same page, and in doing that, it brings about efficiency throughout the software development life cycle. So why that is, SRE now specialize in ensuring that that product that has been developed, right, or currently in operation is available to the consumers or the users, and it is reliable, and the performance is enjoyed by consumers. So, moving on, why SRE? Why do we need SRE in the world today? So, new features are continuously implemented to accommodate the satisfaction of users, right? It's important to ensure that this by no way affects the stability of the product or the downtime as we know it. I'll give an example, right? So, take for instance the banking system, and there's like, okay, we want to do this kind of voice recognition to ensure that you can use your voice to send money to your friends, family, and people. And they already like announced it like, okay, in the following week we'll be doing this. And it turns out that okay, uh you're not even able to sign into your banking app. Like, it frustrates the effort. Like, at that moment, what you can think is, rather than even the voice recognition new feature that you were excited about, you just wanted to log into your bank account, right? So what SRE do is that they ensure that that kind of scenario does not happen, right, and ensure the stability of the product. That thing can make the banking service lose customers and all of that. So why SRE is there is to avoid, right, that kind of scenarios. And even if those kind of scenarios happen, how to ensure that it doesn't happen or does not repeat itself. So the need for scalable and efficient system to be properly managed and monitored in terms of security, performance, availability, and so on is why SRE is here. And not just that, if for instance your blog, right, used to accommodate 100 people, there's this new gist that is in town, and it's going to be causing more traffic to your blog. How can you accommodate them, right? So that's why you need a scalable account so that your customers, right, do not just go to your page and saying 404 error. So that is why SRE is here, basically to build a reliable system. So it brings us to the pillars of SRE. Okay, so while there isn't a one word fit all point to address SRE principles, there are six pillars of SRE principles. Uh, there are six pillars of SRE aiming to create a reliable system. Okay, so leadership and culture. Somebody might be wondering, what does leadership and culture have to do with creating a reliable system? But due to the fact that human aspects strive to create the DevOps culture, it's not computer that is creating a culture or computer that is operating itself. It is we humans. So definitely, it is also need for us to check ourselves, and then to creating mindset to develop emergency responses, on call workload, and blameless retrospective, so that there is no pointing of fingers and say, okay, this is your job, this is my job. If you do not do well, that's none of my business. Or if something happened, this is the person's neck that we're taking to the guillotine. So what the pillar of SRE, when we talk about leadership and culture, is to just foster a mindset whereby we can all collaborate as one to help improve services, so that that kind of blameless culture, right, is fostered amongst ourselves. And then on call workload, even after work hours, where someone can be proactive to target a shortcoming or emergency responses for downtime and whatnot. So moving on, there's service level objective and indicators. I'm sure most people have heard of SLO and SLI. SLO pertains to the acceptable values defined to deliver a quality service with the use of SLIs. Um, what SLO basically is objective that we've already stated for SLIs. And what are SLIs? SLIs help to analyze quality service using the measurement of performance, response time, and latency. So I'll give an example. An indicator, SLIs are basically a service level indicator, and an indicator is okay, you as a blog post or you as a website, for a particular blog or a post to come on, it takes about like 5 seconds. So this is an indicator to know that okay, you're measuring the performance of your web page, and says okay, take 5 seconds. And then what an SLO is now like creating an objective that okay, in next month from 5 seconds, we want to make sure that our web page come up in 3 seconds. And what are the steps what steps can we make, or what steps can we do to ensure that this time is short. Probably there's an animation on the web page that makes the website load slowly. There is a way we can just talk to the front end engineer and say okay, we want to remove this or we want to change it to this. So this is what SLO and SLI, just to ensure, for even web user facing apps, basically how can you ensure that your product uh, is your product give quality services to the users, right? So another one is proactive monitoring. So the four golden sides of monitoring include latency, saturation, error, and traffic. Like I mentioned earlier, you want to know the amount of traffic. Even as a website, you want to know the amount of people that checked into your blog post last month. You want to know the amount of traffic that is going into your website or your web page this month. So monitoring of that also helps to set these goals to say, okay, this is what we should do to show we increase traffic. And then not just that, what can we do to be able to accommodate those traffic? What are the resources that are needed, right? Latency, to show that, okay, so someone that is far away from me, how then can I ensure that it does not take 10 years for the person to just load one single web page, or it does not take 50 years just to send money, right? So talking about latency, and then how to work with errors. How can we read errors and then ensure that these errors do no longer appear and are resolved? Okay, monitoring of these metrics help to proactively curb these potential threats and incidents and create a more efficient system. You don't want to always, go into your bank app and then it's telling you internet this, internet that, even though your internet is working fine, or says something you're able to log in due to something down. So what proactive monitoring does is to ensure that these signals that we monitor help to create an efficient system, and then up to curb potential threats. Because if you're saying that okay, this is what you've monitored last week and this is what happened, let's say in the morning you have more traffic, and then those things can help cause your website to be slow, you increase resources. So that is your proactively uh ensuring that what happened last time is not happening this time. So that's what proactive monitoring is. Release and deployment. To ensure a reliable service to the end user, understanding of the system component is needed in driving continuous integration and delivery of products from development to operation. For every product or for every service, there is the need to maintain, there is the need to bring new features for the satisfaction of users. Um, Ensuring that in doing so, you do not affect uh, the stability or the reliability of the system is needed. There would always be a feature to release. There would always be a new or new probably a rollback to be done. Uh, so this is what release and deployment is. There is always going to, since there's always going to be new feature, there's going to be new additions. It is important to ensure that the system is reliable from the development to operation. So you can't say as an SRE, all my business is just to monitor if the site is up, right? You have to understand the unit of, okay, this is currently in development space. How much resource do we be needing, right? How much traffic will be going, how can we ensure that there is seamless and easy deployment, okay, to ensure that operation does not go down or we don't have a downtime and all of that. So that's why release and deployment is a pillar of SRE. Automation and toiling reduction. And most times you just excuse me, you say DevOps is more of automation, basically ensuring that things are done, whatever is easy or the opportunity to reduce manual repetition that should be automated to not only reduce human error but and toiling, but for faster delivery. Um, that's why there's something called configuration management. There are tools that are set in place to help uh, reduce manual repetition apart from human errors. You know, when you do things every time, there's a point, there's a chance, right, that you make error. And then instead of you having to build this package, there's some package that when you build for the first time, it's going to take like 15 minutes to build. And then you don't want to have to keep building the package all over again. It's just very, very tiring. So instead, you just write probably an IAC as infrastructure as code to just set up this to provision these servers or to make a deployment, and it creates faster execution time. So if before now or the first time you use 4 hours to make a deployment, and with the use of automation, you can now like cut down the time and then even make faster releases and all. Risk acceptance and mitigation plan. There's this very popular saying we say, I'm sure you've heard of that. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So in the course of continuous feature releases for your product, either due to an upgrade or rollback, it is important to analyze risk and set mitigation plans in place to allow for a more enjoyable service for your consumers. Um, Risk acceptance is to understand that um, there would always be something that is up, right? And then how can we now work towards ensuring that whatever risk that is coming, there is a plan B for it. Okay. Talk about rollbacks. I'll give an example. Like that voice recognition feature that wants to be added to your bank app. If you have 50 users, right? Instead of just taking all 50 users to uh, the uh, voice recognition feature, you can just like say 10%. There's something called beta testing, right? Where we just take 10% of the consumers to test, okay, can this app accommodates this voice recognition feature? Do people enjoy it? And then gives room to be able to roll back. This is a kind of mitigation plan that has been set in place that, okay, this blue green deployment, okay, this works, but this does not work. How can we roll back? Okay, this works. How can we move forward to even accommodate the traffic? So I'm going to just go back. So the pillars of SRE is leadership and culture, SLO and SLI, that's service level objective and indicators, uh, proactive monitoring, release and deployment, automation and toiling reduction, risk acceptance and mitigation plan. So these are the 6 pillars of SRE. Um, so if you want to learn more about SRS, this are the sites where you can find book and more resources on SR. I think I'll just uh, drop the link to the slide just in case uh, you'd like to read more on SRE. So thank you very much. Deborah, over to you.
Oh, that was really. Can you hear me?
Yes.
That was really amazing. I learned a lot, and I think a lot of persons did. So there are a couple of questions in the comment section. Someone was asking, where can we place platform engineering in respect to the example you just mentioned for SRE and DevOps? Did you get that?
Okay. So, like I mentioned, SRE is like a specialized field in DevOps, right? I mentioned like while DevOps is like a parent, SRE is like a child, right? So under DevOps, we have other fields, right? We
Yeah.
have we have even QA testers can be placed under DevOps space or in other DevOps. So platform engineering, even software services engineering, they are all under DevOps, right? So anything that allows seamless function of a service or software development cycle from the onset or inception, that's development to operation, is under DevOps. So they are all child basically, or they are all children rather under DevOps, the parent. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, so hi Bolaji Adetoye. Please, if that doesn't answer your question, you can just indicate in the comment section. There's another, I think this was a comment. He said, brilliant analogy for the SRE versus DevOps debate using the medical reference, doctor and ENT. That was like a compliment, I guess. That Kene Ojiteli asks, can you speak more on observability and also the difference between monitoring and observability?
All right, okay. So monitoring and observability are like two sides of a coin, right? So what monitoring, they're like almost the same thing. Monitoring, there are like tools that are set in place. Basically, they are monitoring your system, right?
Yeah.
We have even Elastic where you're able to see, okay, these are the golden signs. So you're monitoring okay, this is what the components are. So observing, they work hand in hand, right? So you're observing a system. Okay, so monitoring is like more in depth. So you can observe from uh, far, right? You can say, okay, uh, this is the amount of users that come into your blog post, and then how to now monitor to ensure that, okay, this is like a more in-depth search, so you can observe something but not really like take cognizance of it. But monitoring now makes it like in-depth observation into it. Okay, to monitoring is now like you can see the past what's the word, action, and how you can now work towards ensuring that, that's where proactive monitoring comes in, how you ensure that you can now curb this potential risk. So observation does not necessarily mean, oh, you want to do something about it, but monitoring is like going forward to say that, okay, I've observed this has happened, how then can I curb this potential risk, and how then can I work towards ensuring these things do not happen again.
Okay, thank you. I hope that answers your question, Kene. Um, there's okay, someone Akoji and Anthony. He said there's enterprise architect under DevOps. That wasn't a question, but okay. Did you get that?
Is enterprise architect? Yes, there
No,
is.
that
You've
was,
heard of
yeah.
structural architecture, infrastructure architecture, automation engineer. They're all under DevOps. DevOps is a very broad space, basically. So they are all under DevOps.
It's
SR is too under DevOps.
and Chidera Johnson is asking, what is the roadmap for a complete beginner? What do I learn in order to get started with DevOps? And do I need to learn front end and back end stacks?
So that's the benefit of DevOps. You don't even need to learn how to code. You don't even need basically to know C sharp or to know how to write Node.js and all of that. most things you'd be needed to do is configuration code, IAC, bash scripting, and like so you do not necessarily need. There'll be welcome addition, but it's not a need.
Okay. I hope that answers your question, Chidera. Um,
Yes, sorry,
yes,
sorry. Also, I think Deborah can answer for newbies if you want to join. I think the DLS space creates an avenue for people that want to join. So Deborah can speak more on that.
yeah. So yeah, so I don't know, Chidera, are you okay? Do you want me to speak more on that? So you could join our community, the DLS community, or you could just follow me on social media and ask me about it. So there are no more questions. Thank you very much, Nicole. Please, can you share your social media handles? I don't know if you have access to your phone or something, like to the. I don't know if you have access to the YouTube link. So if you
Um,
could share, if you could share your, or better still, you could just after the call, you can always, I could always share the link for you after the call. You could just share it with me. I think I have it already. So I'll share it with. So for
okay.
everyone that attended the call, thank you so much. It was really great having you guys here. And thank you for the questions you asked. And I hope you were able to get valuable information from this event and get answers to your question. If you have more questions, you can always reach out to her. So I'll be sharing links to her social media platforms in the comment section after the live. So you can always visit the YouTube video and you see the links to her social media handles in the comment section. OJ Clock says great presentation. Yeah. So Nicole, thank you so much. I hope we do this some other time. It was really great having you.
It
Thank you for
was
also
nice to
keeping
be
the time so
here.
short. I think it's the first time I would have I will host an event and time will fall under 26. Yeah, 23 minutes actually. Thank you so much for, yeah, thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.